Word. Okay, hello everyone. Welcome to the Virtual Goddess Channeling and Alignment Circle. And we're gathered here today to experience, it's for an experience of our own divine self and making that connection so solid and so strong inside ourselves that we are unshakable, no matter what is occurring in the outer world. So it is an actual dimension of consciousness that we're tapping into, where we're practicing qualities such as awakened neutrality, vibrational autonomy, and divine co-creation. So these are different qualities and experiences that we start to tap into and integrate into our everyday reality. And it supports us in our everyday life. So that's what we're doing here. Now, in order to experience that state, what happens is a lot, we start to bring in a lot of light into our system. And so in the same, simultaneously, our shadow elements are revealed, our shadow qualities. And these can be obstructions and different types of patterns, mental patterns, emotional patterns that start to obstruct or have obstructed that experience for us. And so when we bring forth this light, all of those kinds of shadow qualities are revealed. And so then we have the opportunity in this beautiful, safe container, an alchemical transformative process, we have the opportunity to raise the frequency of those obstructions, and in some cases actually dissolve. We unravel and dissolve and include back into the wholeness. So we're integrating with this light, with this cosmic light. So it's an amazing opportunity and an amazing practice to assist us. Okay, some more people are coming in. So I may have to repeat a little bit of what we just shared. Hello. Okay, welcome everybody. So again, I'm just giving a little bit of an introduction because today we have some new participants who haven't done the virtual goddess channeling circle in the past. And so I'm just giving a little bit of an introduction about what we're doing here so that we can all kind of calibrate to the vibration of the circle. So again, what we're doing is we're working on union. We're connecting, we're invoking the experience of divine union inside ourselves. And as we do that, we start to experience more light in the inner quantum field. And in that process, we start to remove and unravel any kind of obstruction, any kind of block that we have to having that experience 24/7. Because sometimes we kind of go in and out of those states of union and separation and union, and then we may be triggered, for example, in our daily life. And so in this circle, we learn very specific techniques on how to stabilize in the experience of union. So that's the main thing. So, and we do this work in the realization that we are beings of light. We are beings of light incarnate at this time on the planet to support the expansion of consciousness and the transformation of consciousness in what's occurring now, which is a global paradigm shift. So we're learning how to stabilize in the frequency of unity consciousness. Now, we can all agree that in the world right now, there's just a lot of discord, there's a lot of division, there's a lot of upheaval, very real physical threats and issues that we have to face in our daily life at this time. And there is like a spiritual and psychological warfare going on as well that has to do with our beliefs and what we are choosing to experience in our reality. So we're really being challenged to choose freedom and to choose love, no matter what is occurring in the outer world. So this is a very high initiation that we're going through, because we are given every day, we are given opportunities to choose. Do we want to choose separation, or do we want to choose unity? And it is so clear at this time that it is our choice, what it is we want to experience in our everyday reality, by how we think, how we feel, what is the vibration that we cultivate in our daily life. Because that, in that inner world, in that private, intimate inner world, that vibration that you're experiencing, that is what you're going to be attracting into the outer world, into your outer experience. So it's very unique to each of us. And so we're really starting to understand this at a very deep level, that the vibration that we emanate, the vibration that we cultivate inside ourselves, it's like a ripple effect. And that vibration inside of us affects our environment, and it attracts experience. So that's why in this work, one of the main things that we do is clean and cleanse and purify that inner quantum field, so that is what, so, and any unconscious in this container, any unconscious material can rise up to be seen, to be acknowledged and integrated. So we're no longer, because it's we don't know that we have these it's, you know, they're constructs, they're mental patterns, they can be formed from experiences of the past. They can be imprints that we bring in when we're born, that are, you know, ancestral genetic patterns, ways of thinking that we inherit from our ancestors. And so we're born with a lot of these patterns that are unconscious. So we're not fully aware. So the work that we're doing now is to become aware, to bring these patterns into the light so that we can acknowledge them, bring them into the light, and transform them and integrate them, so that they are no longer vibrating unconsciously and attracting experiences that are unpreferred. Okay, so that's the quantum light practice. In the quantum light practice, we also work with the understanding that we are multidimensional beings of light. So there are many different dimensions that we can play in, that we exist in, that we choose. Again, so there's no time or space in the quantum light field. So that means that we can journey to versions of ourselves when we were younger, in past lives, and do the healing work in those states, and then integrate. It's like we're calling back fragmented parts of ourselves to be integrated into the present moment, so that we become aligned in the present moment. We can also call forth future versions of ourselves and ask for, receive guidance and support from these more evolved versions of ourselves. So we can, and in that way, we also work with galactic beings of light and ascended masters, and that are not in the body, that are vibrating in these other dimensions. So we start to tap into these other dimensions where we can communicate, where we can be uplifted, where we can be nourished and supported, so that we It's like you never need to feel alone. The entire universe is inside of you, supporting you in this process. So we just have to be aware of it. We have to be aware of it and stabilize in that awareness. So that's what we do here. Very practical techniques we receive as well that have to do with grounding, making sure that we are in our bodies, connected to our bodies. Because when there's a lot of upheaval, a lot of emotional distress, a lot going on in the world, sensitive people, and I'm sure that everybody here can be considered to be sensitive, and that's why you're interested in this work. And so we often have the tendency to leave our bodies when things get emotionally dense, when we're feeling a lot. Some of us do have that habit of numbing our emotions in different ways, leaving our bodies, feeling disconnected. So the quantum light practice offers very practical techniques to become embodied, to be fully, to fully land into your physical vessel. Because from that place, then we can journey. Then we can consciously journey to other dimensions. So we do a lot of work to ground and be connected to Gaia, the ascended vibration of Gaia. And again, that's Gaia herself, the earth, vibrates in different dimensions. And so we are consciously connecting. We're making the intention to fully embody in the ascended vibration of Gaia. So we'll do a little bit of work around that. And then I also I wanted to share a little bit about what light language is, because I work with light language, and the light language is an energy stream of sound frequencies. And these sound frequencies are being transmitted from these ascended masters, beings of light, star beings, and different beings that come forth to support us and to offer certain divine qualities and transmissions, activations, and it will come forth as a sound vibration. And the reason why, and it's a language of light, and it's a language of frequency and vibration. So it's not a mental thing that you have to understand mentally. It will be a frequency that is absorbed into your system and assists you in a way to disconnect from the mental processes. It's almost like to move the mind out of the way, to entertain the mind, to offer pleasure to the mind, because it's pleasurable to receive the sound. It will feel pleasurable. It will feel good in your system. And so that the mind is occupied in a way, and then this divine frequency can come through your system, move through your system, and do the unraveling and the recalibration and the alignment that occurs when the mind is not getting in there to analyze and trying to understand and trying to figure it out, and all of those kinds of things that the mind will do that can create resistance. So it's a way to remove resistance as well, so that we can receive in a way that is clean, that you know, it's like again, we clear the field of obstructions and energy patterns that are no longer serving us. So this is a way that we do that, along with different, you may hear number codes, you may hear because it is like a guided experience. So I may call forth certain colors and rays that contain certain frequencies, because each color is a facet of light. So we'll work with different rays of light when we start to do clearings. So again, it's something that you have to experience. So I'm just giving a little intro so that you have an idea of what to expect. But again, it is an experience. And this is the quantum light practice. And it is, it's also something that's offered to people who have done a lot of personal work, who've done a lot of inner exploration, who are seekers. And it's kind of like these frequencies of light, the quantum light technology assists us to really, in an accelerated way, to completely clear any residue, just fully releasing past time, emotional and mental patterns that no longer serve us, in a way that's very accelerated, in a way that's very effortless. And again, it's usually, these are usually patterns and that we've been doing for a long time, that we know a lot about. It's like we know everything there is to know. For example, about feeling abandoned or feeling alone. We've done it for many years. We know what it feels like. We've learned about it. We've studied it. We've talked about it. And so it's time to just let go sometimes. We don't need to understand anything else about it. What we need is to let go and almost like we unplug from that way of being. And then we tap into frequencies and energy streams that are at our new vibration, frequencies that are supportive, that are nourishing, that that guide us and lead us to the perfect opportunities and places and people that will support us for the rest of this incarnation in our mission of supporting and contributing to the transformation of consciousness at this time. So that's a little bit about what we're doing today. So does anybody have any question or anything that they would like to share before, and you can also write into the chat. If there's any concern or anything that you'd like to share about it, you can write it into the chat, or you can unmute yourself and ask a question. Remember, we're being recorded. So let's see. And like I said, it's an experience. And that's when you're going to really know if the work resonates for you and if it is effective. You just have to have the experience. So I welcome all of you. Thank you so much for coming and giving it a try. And everyone here is contributing to what occurs. So there's an alignment that occurs with the group. And so you are contributing when you come and connect. Your being, your frequency is calibrating to this container. And so what you need, you will receive in this time together. So wonderful. Okay. So let's go ahead and get started. Is there any intention? Does anybody have a specific intention that they would like to address? Because I'm wanting to be a little bit more interactive, and if there's anything, any specific intention, you can also write that in the chat if you'd like. So let's begin, and make sure everyone is muted so that we can, so that we don't have any sound interference. Let's see, here we go. Okay, all right, let's get started then. It's so good to see all of you. And we'll begin by closing our eyes and be very comfortable in a seated posture. So we want to have the spine erect. That's very important because the energy is going to be moving up and down the spine. So we want to be, and we're going to be grounding, connecting to the core of the earth. So we want to have the spine erect. So take deep breaths. It feels so wonderful to be in the quantum light practice, the virtual goddess channeling and alignment circle. Ready to receive. You can feel your hips sink into the chair. You can feel your feet flat on the floor. And as you put your attention on your feet, they start to tingle. As you put your attention on anywhere in the body, that consciousness, that awareness activates the cells in that part of the body. So we'll do a body scan to just kind of activate the cells to really become embodied. And so just be aware of the soles of your feet. And you can feel the energy rise up through the energy channels of your legs. Into the root chakra. And from here, we're going to be aware of the core of the earth. And so here we go. We're going to connect with the ascended Gaia, the ascended vibration of the earth. And we make that intention. I'm connecting to the core of Gaia. And you can visualize a line of energy moving from the root chakra through all the layers of the earth to the core. And this is how we begin every practice, is with this grounding exercise, because we want to be anchored into the ascended vibration. And then you can feel that light. There's a light that rises up from the core of the earth. It's a diamond white core. And that light rises up through all the layers of the earth, entering into your system, through the root chakra, through the soles of your feet, into your body. And that energy rises up through the energy channels of the body, the energy centers, through the sacral chakra, the reproductive organs of the body, into third chakra, the solar plexus, into the heart, the throat, the third eye at the center of the head. And then we open the crown, and the crown, the energy, the earth energy fountains out top of the head. And then we open to receive the cosmic light. And this is a vibration of light that's coming through the central sun. These are divine codes of light. And so you can see a column of golden light coming in through the crown of the head. Entering into the third eye, the pineal gland at the center of the head, softening the pineal gland, awakening visionary capacities. We can just do a clearing here. Just see this gold light swirling through the center of your head. And it's moving through all the neural pathways, the brain, all the thought processes, bringing all your emotions and thought processes into alignment. And then the energy moves into the throat, again, clearing all your communication, removing any cords of communications that are not complete. And that's just moving. You just visualize this gold light moving through the throat area. And then that cosmic light enters into the heart and merges with the earth energy in this fusion of light. And this is your alignment. This is where you become a transmitter of this divine energy. And in that fusion, the light emanates through your whole system. This is the experience of matter and spirit in balance inside of you. And so then that light moves all through the inner quantum field, calibrating your system to this circle, to this moment. So just we're going to receive a light language transmission from Gaia, in the form of Pachamama. And Pachamama is an expression of the Earth Mother. In Peru, she's honored in Peru, South America, and she is Mother Nature. And she's coming forth because we are all needing nourishment and a vibration of the Divine Mother, being nourished at the breast of the Divine Mother. So this is what she's offering to us. Sukoha, Pachamama, Chunun Chunuaha. And so we just receive. So just allow this very nourishing vibration to rise up from the core of the earth into your body. And just relax and receive. Sukurua naishinakanishakosoa. Soskuru sunokoa hini chiki chiko sunua. Haishina e chiki chikora isinikine e chiki sanaya. Waroa anai ine chinake e chiki sokorua. Sokoa. And she's offering gratitude to us. She's sharing that she's just really acknowledging our work and our intention that we all have to be in union with our own divinity and to be honoring and offering thanks to her for the nourishment that we receive in our daily lives. Sukunua anai, sunua anai ni shinake shikorua. And there's been so much upheaval in the world, sunua anai ni shini, in the process of coming into balance with her. Sukurua anai ni shinake shinakoswa. So skurua ha anai nai shinake ni shinakoswa. Ha nai sanai shinai sunua. So this vibration is just offering a feeling of serenity and wholeness in the midst of so much happening in the world, shifts in nature, storms, hurricanes, tornadoes. All of this has been occurring in the Americas. And it's a way, so we're looking at those experiences with divine eyes. So from the in the shamanic world, there is a lower world, there is a middle world, and there is an upper world. And so the lower world, we're dealing with frequencies that have to do with the unconscious. And then in the middle world, that's our daily life. And then in the upper world, we're working with ascended masters and beings of light and working with these different lineages. And so Pachamama is offering us a transmission from the lineage of the mountains. And these are the Andean Sierra. And there's this a vibration, a frequency of clarity and focus and this pristine altitude. It's like a cleanness, it's precision, it's clarity, it's focus, and the ability to see with divine eyes what's occurring. So these different storms, systems that are occurring are cleansing. They're the way that she cleanses herself and recalibrates herself in her ascension process. And it is a strong process. So when these things are occurring in the outer world, it is so important to anchor ourselves into the heart of Gaia, into this heartbeat of Gaia. And to move from any frequencies of fear to, again, to unplug frequencies of fear from those are dimensions that we tap into. So we can unplug and plug into the frequency of unity and grounding and divine support. And the way that we are able to unplug from the frequencies of fear and discord and oftentimes terror is to allow ourselves to feel those feelings. And when we're able to truly be with those feelings, that is when they shift. That is when they unravel. Into love. So we can be in fear, we can be feeling fear, and we can choose love simultaneously. So just take a deep breath and receive that activation of that experience of stability, of peace, of quiet, that is an inner experience, no matter what is happening in the outer world, no matter what news we're hearing about that's happening in other parts of the world, that we go to a default position of alignment inside ourselves, holding the frequency of love. So that's a service that we do in these uncertain times. Doesn't mean that we have certainty. It doesn't mean that we know what's going to happen. And it doesn't mean that we won't have challenging moments. We may actually be in a place where there's a hurricane and we have to take action. We may actually physically be in a place where we need to leave the country because we are choosing a different way of life. And then we choose to leave our homes. So we may have to go through those types of experiences. It doesn't mean that you don't go through these types of experiences. It means that when we have those experiences, we're in clarity, we're in alignment, and we can choose from a place of wholeness and love for the most beneficial outcome. And each time we go through this type of experience, we are learning and we're becoming strong. And we know how to choose unity. That we have these different experiences in our daily life and then throughout our lives where we choose love. And then we have that experience and it strengthens us, and each experience builds on the next experience. And it becomes like this foundation that we can draw from in the moment, in any situation. So it's very important, these spiritual practices of purification. So take a deep breath. And just allow yourself to integrate. And so there's a goddess coming forth very powerfully in this now moment, and her name is Lakshmi. And so Lakshmi is a goddess, and she's coming forth in a very playful form to assist us to lighten up. Basically, we've got to lighten up, we've got to find our joy and our happiness and this the ecstasy of being incarnate and experiencing the senses. And so this is how we raise our vibration. And so visualize this, it's like a magenta and gold is her energy or her vibration, and just allow yourself to receive. And she's a Venus being of light, so we're receiving a ray that's coming forth from the Venus temple, the etheric Venus temple, the galactic beings of light. And it's a magenta and golden vibration, and you can allow that vibration to enter in through the crown of the head and to be absorbed by the cells of your body. And this vibration awakens the cells of the body, so that they can receive this light and all the senses are awakened and directed towards the divine. So we're taking deep breaths. Deep breaths into the body. And this golden light is entering in through the crown of the head like a sphere of light. So there's a sphere of light that's pulsating above the crown of the head. And then that sphere of light descends into the crown of the head, and that light, just like a sponge absorbs water, this golden light is being absorbed by every cell of your body. Entering into the throat, into the heart, just being absorbed. More and more light. Your body is able to hold higher frequencies of light. Just breathe into the heart while this is occurring. Just focus on the heart. You are loved. It's a frequency of love. So both of these frequencies, the Pachamama and the Lakshmi, it's all about enjoying your incarnation, enjoying being in the body, experiencing pleasure, experiencing love, experiencing being honored by the divine. You are a temple of light. You are a divine being of light. So all that adoration and honor that you would give to the Divine Mother or different forms of the divine, those forms of the divine are a mirror to you, to your own divine self. So the light is, it bounces back into you. And you experience yourself as a divine being. The truth of who you are. Soko unoa anai ini chike ichiki soko shoa. Sonoaha anai ini shinake shakoroa. So then we offer our love, this unconditional love and adoration to the Divine Mother. And she mirrors it back to us. That light is returned to our own hearts. And replenishes our own hearts with this frequency of love. So we're just being infused with this light, divine infusion of light and love in our hearts. Beautiful. Just take deep breaths. And then that light continues into the lower three chakras. We're going to do a little bit of work there in our embodiment. And just be aware of the sacral chakra. Put your attention on the sacral chakra. Okay, and so we're going to do some energy work here around some collective wounding of the divine feminine. So that has to do with this energy of self-love and sensuality. And there's a matching energy here with Gaia, with nature. And that's reflected in the female body. So focus on the reproductive organs, the creative center of the body. And so some of us have it's an imprint. It can be an ancestral pattern. And it's conditioning as well. And it's again, it's an imprint that comes from trauma in the past with the female body. So the female body is very powerful. And, you know, the feminine vibration is about creating another body inside itself. So it's a very specific vibration that has to do with the female body. So the capacity, the power to create another human being in your own body. So that is the female vibration. It's not about wearing makeup or having long hair or wearing certain fashion. It is about this vibration to create another human being physically in your body. Shakura ana. So we're going to call forth that power. That is the feminine vibration. Sokono aha ana ine cheneke e cheke chekosba. Sana ine cheke cheke cheko sokoaha. Sokoaha ana ine keni cheke chekoroaha ana sanaki sheko sowa. So we're owning, for those of us in a female body, we are owning that power. We are coming into that power, claiming that power inside ourselves. Shakuroaha ni imi chiniki chako swa. Sokuaha ana ni che chicken sunkuaha. And this creative life force is also in nature. Shakuroaha nai chiki shako. And it is this tremendous power to revitalize and rejuvenate and create. Sokoro nonoaha nai imi chike chako. And sometimes these powers can be frightening because it's so powerful. It feels like it cannot be contained or controlled. So therefore, many things have occurred in history and throughout the ages of how to control this power, how to control the female body, how to control nature. Okay, so it's a vibration of control that we are clearing with this process. Sono shinokoro sono aha nai. Shakoro ha anai sine kene cheke cheku. Sono aha ana ini cheke chekora chekoro aha nai cheke sakuswa. Sana ini cheke cheke chekoro aha ana ini cheke sakuswa. So we're holding space here in this now moment for women in this now moment who are suffering in this way, that this energy of control of the female energy in the female body. So holding space for those who are suffering from this imprint in this now moment. Shuni shinake chike chikorahe chike shikosura ha naini chike shikoshkwa ha naina he chike chikora chikora ha na seneke chike chikora sanaina chike chikora sono ha ha seki shaku suwa ha na ini chike chikora ha na ichike sikoskura. Deep breaths. And so we're bringing forth the violet flame, and the ascended master Sarah is coming forth. And Sarah is the daughter of Yeshua and Mary Magdalene, and she has a violet flame. And we're going to receive that violet flame in the womb area of the body, the creative center of the body. And if you're in a male body, you can also receive this energy in that creative center of the body. We're recalibrating and coming into alignment with this power. So focusing on this area of the body and bringing forth the violet flame. And removing any kind of imprint of control or trauma from this area. And then grounding, let it just allowing that energy to be released through the grounding cord into this fire of the ascended Gaia. To be revitalized, to be neutralized, and revitalized as new energy streams that are nourishing and validating and supportive to the female system. Or the feminine energy, that power inside of us to create. So visualize that violet fire moving through your system, the sacral area, the reproductive organs, and you're going to see a grounding cord then be created from the reproductive organs, or the vibration of that chakra, the second chakra, into the core of the earth. So that grounding cord is going to merge with the cord that is anchored from the root chakra to the core of the earth. So that feminine power is being anchored into the ascended vibration. So we make that intention, and you can see that anchoring occur as the violet flame moves through that area. It's an activation. It's an activation of the womb, the creative life force of the universe in your physical vessel, purified and liberated from that imprint. Because it is the inner awareness that creates, that then is reflected in the outer world. So when this type of violence and oppression, and there are places on the planet where there is a lot of oppression in the outer world, when that's occurring, when we're aware that that's occurring in other parts of the world, and maybe occurring in our own home as well, the way that we support the transformation of those energies is through this alignment. So just breathe into that area as this alignment is occurring. Divine Mother is coming forth. Unraveling the fear of fully embodying this power because of the physical trauma that has occurred in the collective, in our individual lives, and in our ancestral lives, ancestral lineage. There's physical trauma that occurred. So there's a very real fear here of expressing that power. Is a fear of visibility that is being unraveled. So we can just allow that. Take deep breaths. Unuaha na ina kini e cheke e se ne sonoaha na ne se ke chekara suruaha na I sana I e ke chekuraha sana I cheke sukusoa ha I shiki shukushoaha ana laina sononoana na I seke. This is a Venus light The galactic Magdalene vibration. So cool. So ha'ana and Magdalene is a Venus vibration. Unraveling imprints were times where women were considered property. When women were enslaved, female body was enslaved and controlled. Where the physical sexual violence occurred in order to extract the female power from the female body. So where physical disfigurements were given in order to remove beauty. And physical procedures in the female genitalia in order to remove pleasure. So all of these vibrations are being unraveled. And offered to be included into the oneness, into the Akasha, so we can allow that energy, those energies, those imprints to be unraveled. Take deep breaths into the lower three chakras. Deep breath. Deep breath. And then let go. Deep breath. And let go. And one more time, very deep breath. And release. And then being aware of your grounding, connecting to Gaia, Pachamama. And it will be very beneficial if you're able today to spend some time in the earth in a natural setting and really making the intention of connecting with Gaia, allowing these imprints to continue to unravel and release into the earth. They're being neutralized. So that we can see, so that we can be present. Because we know that this suffering is occurring all around us still. And so we must be present in our bodies and hold space for the transformation to occur. Because if we disconnect from our bodies, if we disassociate, if we can't feel, and many of us have been conditioned to not feel these things as a way to cope. But then we also can't feel our own divinity. So we are learning how to hold space in the midst of suffering. No matter what is occurring, we are in our alignment, in presence, holding space for divine transformation. And sometimes there's tremendous anger that comes forth in association with these types of energies when they come forth. And so it's suggested that, again, go out into the earth and allow yourself to release, stomping on the earth, allowing yourself to scream, allowing yourself just throwing yourself on the earth and allowing the Divine Mother to nourish you and support you as you release and let go. And tears, allowing your tears to flow and allowing yourself to feel that pain and allowing it to release and transform. So we're going to allow, we're going to receive a blessing. So all of this work supports us to empty ourselves of these patterns that may still affect us in a way that's unconscious and in ways that are conscious. Take deep breaths. And now we're going to fill ourselves up with this divine love. Calling forth the Venus light, the temple of love, the temple of light. The galactic Magdalene vibration, this very profound healing vibration of sovereignty. So allow yourself to receive sovereignty, clarity, union, divine support. Hashu so soroaha ana ina ya sokorono noana heshana heshakora hasanai soskorosonaha anai ina chinake chikiskosora sokoa ha anai inai. And receiving this consciousness, this of the Christ consciousness, the awareness of the inner divinity, so the union within. Shono soroaha nai shika soku. Sokora na ine chiniki, the Sophia Christ, the Shekinah, the indwelling presence of the divine. Sono anai shiniki shakosua. Sanai nai shanai. Sono aha anai ne shike chakorai chike sakosua nai. Shanai nai chiniki chakoro haanasa. Sanai nai shinakai chike chako. And Sarah's coming forth again to bring forth this fusion this balancing of the masculine and feminine inside of us. So what we're going to have one more clearing with the violet flame as we complete this transmission. And then receiving the Venus light, a rainbow ray in through the crown of the head. This Lakshmi vibration, this sensuality, this joy and pleasure at being in the body. So all the senses are awakening. The aromas, these beautiful aromas and scents. The creative life force of the universe, infusing the whole entire inner system, and the womb area with rainbow light, in this womb activation. Be aware of your grounding. Your connection to Gaia. And this is big. What occurred today is big. And so you may continue to process these different imprints. So it's the time to be very gentle and loving and kind and like a baby, like the way that you would treat a baby. That's how you treat your body. As you recalibrate into the frequency of sovereignty, liberated, liberation, sono shinoa. So see that a sphere of golden light hovering above the crown of the head. And that gold light is sealing out all that we've released and completed, all the patterns we've completed. And then sealing in new energy streams of awareness, nourishment, and support. So offering thanks and so much gratitude to Pachamama and Lakshmi and the Divine Mother, all the beings of light that came forth to support us in this process today. Align with the divinity that is you. So how are we doing? So continue to bask in these frequencies of light and calling forth the Divine Mother, calling forth these nourishing vibrations of Gaia as we recalibrate. Again, we're recalibrating to unity consciousness and sovereignty, freedom. So as I shared in the beginning, there will be a purification that occurs. And so we have our tools. We'll continue to ground into the earth, the ascended vibration of Gaia, spend time in nature. That is a wonderful way to continue to release and communicate with Gaia, and offering gratitude and receiving from the elements. And then, of course, if anything comes forth that you would like to share or that you're concerned about, you can contact me at through my website, Quantum Light Practice, or through the meetup messaging. So there's many ways to connect with me. And if you would like to, if there's something that gets stirred up that you would like some support with, I am here for you. I am here for you. So this is big. We have a lot going on the planet right now. And it was really actually a little surprising that that came up for me. It was very unexpected. But, you know, this really going deeply into these patterns, these imprints that come from this wound of the female body and the control of the female body. This is big. This is something that we are working with Gaia in her ascended vibration to recalibrate and bring into alignment with the present time ascension vibration. So we're all going through it. And so that's why we're here, to support each other in really facing this and having the tools to face it so that we can be free of it with courage and clarity and really moving beyond the patterns that we have for centuries to go unconscious, to numb ourselves as our bodies are being violated. So what we need to do, the most important service that we can do, is to be conscious, to stay conscious, and to learn how to feel and process some of these very deep-rooted collective wounds. And so the more that we're able to do this and really stay in our alignment and stay in our union, then again, we're emanating this vibration of consciousness and there's a ripple effect out into the world. It's like a lighthouse that's shining and shining the light on your whole environment, shining a light through the density of the suffering and this pain that so many of us are going through. So we're here to support each other, and as we move through these tremendous shifts, extraordinary shifts that we're going through as a collective. So, is there any question before we sign off? Let's see what the comments are here. I felt Gaia so clearly, absolutely. Beautiful and emotional. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Yes, this was huge. Beautiful and amazing. Gratitude. Beautiful. So I hope I see all of you next week. Let's see, there's one. Okay, control of the female body, continuing to be a pattern throughout our world. So appreciative that this energy is here to support us to move through and to shift beyond these patterns. Absolutely. And that's what we're doing. and we're doing it. And again, every time one of us becomes aware of this and we learn how to tap into dimensions where this polarity doesn't even exist. We learn to stabilize in these dimensions, but we have to do the clearing. We have to do the purification. So there's no what they call spiritual bypass. We have to face that pain and that suffering and above all the numbing. It's like a numbing that has occurred. And so we have to unravel that. We have to do that work. And then we can stabilize in this dimension of unity. And so we shall see what unfolds. We shall see what unfolds, because this is a process and we're learning, and it's very exciting. And we have our tools and we have our practice and we have our beautiful group. So thank you so much for being here. And also, I just want to say one quick word. At 1 o'clock today, so in 40 minutes, we're going to start a new series. It's called the Sacred Site Activations. And this is, if you really enjoyed this, you may want to sign up for that. There's still time. And it is, if you go to my website, Quantum Light Practice, there is a category in courses called Green Mother Activations. And, I'm just going to put the link here. Okay, so it's quantumlightpractice.com/green mother activations. Okay, I just put the link there in the chat. So anyway, you can take a look at that. There's still time to sign up. There's also going to be another round that we're going to start in October, the end of October. So this is going to be an ongoing course. And so, you can do it this time, you can do it the next round, and it's always going to be evolving. But this is a new offering, and so you can check it out. There's more details on the webpage, and so that will be happening at 1. So we're going to sign off, and I'll see some of you in there. And some of you I'll see you at 1, and some of you I'll see next week. Thank you so much. I love you. Bye.